In these videos, you'll go from being a complete beginner to advanced in how to give AI access to tools, build intelligent AI agents that you can sell in the real world and make your first money with AI. Let's get started, shall we? The first thing I do is that I head to BuildMyAgent.io. This software allows you to build intelligent AI agents just by using words, and you can add over 800 different integrations. I'm also a co-owner in BuildMyAgent, so if you have any feedback whatsoever, make sure to let me know inside of school, because then we can make the software even better. You can see on the landing page the price is $25 a month, but I have a little tip for you. If you head over to buildmyagent.io/secret, I'll also drop the link right below this video and hit enter. Then it's going to take you to this secret page where you need a secret key. If you then write in K9ND1 and click enter, it's going to let you pass and you'll get to this secret page right here where you can get 25% off for life. You will, on top of that, also get 1,000 free credits additionally to what you usually get, which means that you can use all of these credits to learn the software and become an absolute beast at creating AI agents. So that's what I'll do. I'll click get started on the starter plan. Then I'll write in my email, click continue with email, and that's going to take me to this page right here. I'll fill out this information and then I'll be right back. That's going to take you to this page right here, and then you're going to see this. If you feel like you need more additional one-to-one help, then you can watch this video. This is going to take you to our school group, which is a private community of other people in the same situation as you. Now we are on the Build My Agent creation page. And the cool thing about Build My Agent is that you can ask it whatever you want to create. Like, create me an agent with access to Gmail and Notion. And if I hit enter, it's going to start building this agent and connect those integrations to my agent. It literally has never been easier before to create real AI agents for the real world and connect it to real applications. What you see now here is the workspace. On the left-hand side, you have your agent builder. And if I wanted to add Google Calendar, for example, I can just write add Google Calendar, hit enter, and now I can refine my agent so I get the desired result and the desired agent that I want to create for my client. And now you can see Google Calendar has been added. On your top left of the workspace right here, you can see the integrations that we need to connect with. So if I wanted to connect Gmail, for example, I can just click connect Gmail, and this is going to open the authentication module. For now, I'll just click authenticate, which is going to open this connection authentication window right here. I can just choose the Google account that I want to continue with. I can click continue. And now we are authenticated, and you can see Gmail right here updated with a little check mark. I can do the same with Google Calendar. Now we are authenticated with Gmail and Google Calendar. I can then either use the workspace to delete Notion, for example, if I don't want it anyways. I could also just ask this to delete my Notion integration, and the agent will just remove it for you. Awesome. Now we can test it. In the bottom right corner, we have test mode that opens this module right here. This allows us to test our agents so we can improve them even more. I can turn on log mode right here. This is going to show you the logs when it triggers tools. Let me show you that in a second. What I can do now is that I can say send an email to support@buildmyagent.io. This is, by the way, is our support email. So if you run into absolutely any issues, then make sure to send them to support@buildmyagent.io. The email that you see right here. So I could write send an email to support@buildmyagent.io and tell them that you love their software. It will now use its Gmail connection to send an email like this. And when I have log mode on, you can see it shows me the actual logs of what it's doing. So I'd recommend usually having log mode on. If you don't want it on and you only want to see what it's actually writing, then you can also just turn it off. I can then head into my Gmail, the connection that I enabled. I can go into send, and you can see to support the AI wrote, I just wanted to let you know that I love your software. It's really great. Awesome. Congratulations. You're now allowed an AI agent access to real tools and do real life tasks. Do you see the potential and all the cool agents that you can create from this? Let's say that you wanted to speak a different language, or you wanted to behave in a different way. All you would do is click on this main node right here, which is going to open up the settings. If you wanted to behave in a different way, or if you want to add a different model, you can click on the model right here, which is going to show you all of the models that you have access to. This is providers like OpenAI, Grok, Gemini, Anthropic. We have a bunch of models in here that you can choose from. What I recommend that you do, however, is that you check the pricing of the models. I would highly recommend you to use Gemini 2.5 Flash because it's a fairly smart model and it's really cost efficient. So what you can do is that you can just search in the browser for Gemini 2.5 Flash model cost, and then you can compare the model pricing, and then you can compare the model pricing to the other models. A model that I would not recommend that you use, for example, is GPT-5 Pro, because this is very expensive. It takes up more credits. In the middle, you see the system prompt, and these are the instructions that you give to your agent. So right now, you can see it says you're an autonomous agent that should deliver precise, actionable responses. And then it has access to all of these tools in here. I can also scroll down, and then I can see the advanced settings, the temperature, and the top P. Temperature is basically a value for how creative the agent should be. If you could put it at a value of like 0.3, it's almost going to do the exact same thing. If you put it further up, like 1.5, it might be a little too creative sometimes and do something that's not intentional. That's why I usually recommend a temperature of around 0.3. I can also at the top change my name. I can call it a Gmail agent like this. And this is only for me, so I can remember what agent I was building. Then I can click Save Changes, and boom, now our changes are saved. I can also go in and write at the top, for example, you only speak Spanish. I can then save it, and then I can ask it, hello. Now you can see our agent speaks Spanish. Models are so smart that they almost speak every single language. Just write it inside the prompt and the model will speak any language that you want. Remember what I mentioned about model cost? You need to make sure that you're using a good model, but that's also cost efficient, because depending on the models, you have credits down in the bottom left corner. You actually get 1,000 credits more than what you usually get. Usually you get 500 credits, but because you sign up through the link, you'll now get 1,500 credits. So you have a little more to use from, but I'll still recommend you to be a bit cost efficient when it comes to what models that you use. When you want to deploy your agent to the real world, like to a website, for example, you can go up in the top right corner, you can click Deploy Agent, and then you can either choose or create a new sub-account. A sub-account is basically a closed environment or a closed account where you can give your client access to that account. But I'll show you more about that in the next module. I'll also show you how you can deploy it on something like Instagram DMs, on SMS, on WhatsApp, Messenger, and the website widget, even how you use custom agents so you can connect it to anything that you want. So now you know the basics. So let's get into how to actually build your first agent that's ready for real life applications, which will be a website widget for this client of mine. Let's get into how to actually build agents that you can go out and sell to business owners and make your first money with AI. In this module, I'll show you how to create a website widget for this client of mine. And I'll even show you how to deploy it on his website so you have a complete product that you can go out and sell tomorrow. Right now, we are in the workspace for the previous agent that we created. So I'm just going to click this arrow back right here, which is going to take you back to our agents. So let's get started, shall we? I'll show you the exact flow of how you build an agent, how you demo it for the client, and then how you launch it for the client. I'll do this in the next 3 modules. Let's start out by creating our agent. And I've actually been so nice that if you click Create Agent and you go inside of the template section right here, you're going to see some pre-made templates that I've already made for you, which means you're going to save a bunch of time on it, of actually prompting the agent. And what I want to show you is this Google Calendar agent right here. This prompt and this specific agent has made us over $400,000. So if I click on this agent, you can see what tools it has access to: Gmail and Google Calendar. All I need to do now is just click Build Agent, and it's going to build it for me with this template. And as I showed you in the video before, all I need to do now is click Connect Gmail, click Authenticate, and then go in and choose my Google account. Click Continue, and boom, authentication is successful. And I do the same on Google Calendar. I want to show you another thing that you can do, which is a real cool feature that we have added. Instead of connect yourself, let's say that you want to connect this to the client. So the client has a Google Calendar and they want appointments that the agent books. They want that in their own calendar. Instead of giving them access to your BuildMyAgent account and going in and connecting them themselves, you can click Share Link right here. And what this will do is that it'll generate a 72-hour share link that I can just copy and I send it to my client. And they have 72 hours to go in and connect their Google Calendar. When they click the link, they're going to come to a page like this. And all they have to do is just click continue with Google Calendar, and it's going to open the same flow. But that way you don't need to give them access to your BuildMyAgent account, and you can manage a lot of clients by sending out these links and a lot of connections to other Google accounts. This is something that's an absolute pain in other softwares like Make and NNN. It is that it's so hard to actually get the right access. But with this share link feature, it has never been easier. For now though, just because I want to show you how to set up the agent, I'm just going to click connect yourself, authenticate, and then sign in with my Google account again. We close this down and boom. Now we have an AI agent with access to Gmail, with access to Google Calendar. And if you go inside, you can see I'm using the model Gemini 2.5 Flash, and also have a pre-made prompt that already works really, really well. This prompt is made for a car detailing company already. So if you're working for a solar company or a roofing company or any other company in any other industry, you would change the things inside of this prompt so it works with exactly what you want to do. I can now click top right here and I can change it. Let's call it Gold Coast Pro Detail Website Widget. I could, if I wanted to, change to another model. Some other favorite models of mine are Grok 4 Fast. It's fairly cheap and very, very fast. You also have models like GPT-4o, but for now, my favorite to use, because it is so cheap and still very, very good, is the Gemini 2.5 Flash. You can also scroll down and see I've already set the temperature for you to 0.3. I also want to show you how you could update this prompt to your own client. You can see at the top it says AI expert in car detailing. If I'm working with a solar company, for example, I would change this to expert in solar. Language of the prompt, here's where you could change to Spanish or French, whatever language that you want. Behavior flow, always answer any user questions and then continue question flow. On the communication level, I've set it to informal and friendly tone. This is usually when you want to book appointments, the best thing that you can do. That way it's not too sales, it's not too formal, it's a casual conversation that the AI has with the leads. Primary purpose and expertise, work as a receptionist for a car detailing company. I of course also could do that. I could say work as a receptionist for a solar company. Rules and guidelines, we have some specific rules. This is so it follows the conversation flow. And again, in the response and tone, you have casual and friendly, using smiley emojis sometimes, and to avoid excessive exclamation marks. Great, now comes the most important thing of any prompt when it comes to booking appointments and closing leads, which is the question flow. I have added already that the AI should ask these questions one by one. Always start with the first question while answering any other questions. These questions are industry specific, so you should change them to whatever industry you are working in. For now, as an example, I'll change them to solar. So instead of how's the car looking, any pets or kids making a mess, I'm going to change it to how's your electricity bill looking? Has it been going up lately? Now I've added an industry specific question for solar. The thing that's important about this question is that it's always something that should continue the conversation about whatever that you are selling. So the example in car detailing was how's the car looking? Any pets or kids making a mess? If someone replies yes to that, it's very natural to continue the sales conversation. And it's the same here in solar. If someone says they have a high electricity bill and it's been going up lately, it would probably be a good time to install solar because it can save them a lot of money. You want to find what angle you can use in whatever industry that you're going into. If you are in kitchen remodeling, a good question could be, how's the kitchen looking? Have you been thinking about upgrading it lately? Something like that, that continues the sales conversation. I would highly recommend you to use this second question. What mornings, afternoons usually work best for a quick detail? And the reason for that is that this question works so well when it comes to booking appointments. It's not a yes or no answer. It's a what mornings, afternoons usually work best. It's what we call an assumptive close. When someone asks, well, mornings usually work best, that continues the conversation once again. Then, because it's a website widget, you want to give them their name, email, and phone number. So that's what we ask for here. And then when they have said that, that's when we book the appointment in the calendar. Then we instructed in how it creates a Google Calendar event. We write add the appointment by using Google Calendar create event tool. So you can instruct it inside of the prompt to what tools it should use as well. And we have also instructed it in sending an inbound email to this email right here that mentions that an appointment has been booked. This is important because the business owner needs to know the name, phone number, and when the appointment has been booked as a notification. That way you provide even more value. So when someone books an appointment on the business owner's website, the business owner is notified over email. And you can do all of this inside of BuildMyAgent. We give it the format that we want the email in, and then we add some edge case scenarios, like if the user proposes a time, it should check if the time is available. And if the user wants to reschedule, then it also uses these tools right here. Another thing that you'll probably need to modify is the company FAQ. So when it comes to what services do you offer, if, let's say we have the example with the solar company, we would write, we offer solar panels, batteries, and EV chargers, for example. Where are you located? This is where you would write in the address of your client. What are your opening hours? You would write in the opening hours of your client. How can I contact you? Write in the number of the client. Do you have a website? Here's, you can link to the website. If you're already on the website with a website widget, you probably don't need this. So let's delete that for now. What is the price? Here's where you'd write the price in. If you want to mention it sometime, for example, in solar, you'll probably write something like the price depends on your exact needs, but we can give you a completely free quote. Something like that. You don't want to give them a price in the website widget. Usually the price actually varies. So instead you want to get them on that call and book an appointment with them in order to give them a price then. So that's why you still want the AI to continue the conversation, but you want to continue the conversation into a booked appointment. How long does it usually take? This is probably not something that you would have as a solar company, so we will also just remove that for now. There you go. This is how you modify the already existing template in the prompt for your exact client. For now, I'll just delete this and I'll insert the old prompt. I'll just go back to the previous prompt that we had because I'm creating a website widget for this car detailing company right here. So I like these car detailing questions. But what I would of course have to do is that I would have to go in and find their opening hours. You can do it like this. I would also have to go in and find their prices. You can do all of this from your client's website. And of course, also where it says email right here in the middle of the prompt, I would go in, I would find the email and I would add it right here. Awesome. Now we are ready. So I'm gonna click Save Changes right here. And now this will save the changes to my prompt. Remember to save the changes so it actually saves to your agent. Another cool thing that you can do is that you can click the plus right here and then you can add a knowledge base. So let's say that you want to get all the information there is on a website, but you don't want to sit there and copy paste it or add it into the prompt. And sometimes the prompt can become very long as well, which might confuse the AI. Instead, let's say you have a lot of information you want to compact into the agent. The way you do that is that you use this knowledge base integration right here. And here you can either upload a file, such as an image, a PDF file, a Google Sheet, for example, with the information that you want the AI to have access to. What it's going to do then, it's going to do something that's called RAG. It's going to store all of this information in a very optimized way, so it can find it later and you can ask questions about these documents and it'll have context and access to that information. But one of my favorite things that you can do inside of BuildMyAgent is that you can also click Import a Website right here. I can then go in and say, okay, I want this website. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to add it as a website URL. I'm going to click Add Another URL, and then I'm going to go up and take the About Us section right here, for example. I want to provide that information as well. I can copy that too, insert it right here, and then click Import. What that will do is that it'll collect all of this information, it'll place it inside of a PDF file you can see right here, and now I can upload that file into the agent, just like that. And now the agent has access to all of this information that's on this page, and the same with the main page. And you can add up to 10 URLs, and you can even add multiple documents. So you can add a lot of information to the agent. I'm just going to click Done now. And now you can see in the middle right here, we have added a knowledge base. This is only something you should add if you have a lot of information. I just wanted to show you how you do it. So what I can do now, for example, is I can find one of these questions that they have right here. Like right now it mentioned that they are a family business. I could go in and ask it. I can clear it right here and I can ask it. It will now go into the document it has access to. It'll find the information about what we just gave it. And you can see, yep, we are a family-owned business and we treat every car like a Rolls Royce. How's the car looking? And you can see that's exactly what it says here as well, where we treat every car like a Rolls Royce. So now the agent has way more context and it's very easy to actually give it information that it can use later on. You just learned something new. Next thing you can do is that we can test it. So let's imagine that this is a website widget that's on this website. What might customers ask them? Well, they might ask them, what services do you offer? Like this. The agent can then go in, it's probably on one of the pages, it can find this information, and here you can see it says we offer in-house car detailing, mobile detailing, ceramic coatings, paint protection spray, customizations, and detailing supplies. So this is that first question that leads the sales conversation. How's the car looking? Any kids or pets making a mess? They can then write, my car is a mess. Haha. I have a dog named Poppy that has a lot of hair, for example. Hit enter. And now the AI will continue the question flow. You can see it says, oh, Poppy sounds adorable. No worries, we can definitely get rid of that dog hair for you. We are experts in making cars look and feel fresh again, even after a pet party. Pretty good message, very friendly, and that's what we instructed in doing, right? We want to have it as a friendly agent. But mornings, afternoons usually work best for a quick detail. I'm gonna say mornings. Perfect. Morning it is. What is your name, email, and phone number? Now the agent picks up the lead information so they can book an appointment. You can say, my name is Albert. My email is, so say this, my email is this, and my phone number, and I'm just gonna write in some random phone number like this. But this is the information we want the agents to store, right? Because this information is very important when their business actually goes out and does the job. They want to be able to contact them. We can then hit enter. So hopefully now it goes into the calendar, finds availability, and gives back some times. And here you can see how that looks. Awesome, Albert, got your details. Okay, so for morning slots, how about these options? Here you can see October at 10, Thursday at 10, Thursday at 11. If I go in and check my calendar, you can see the options I have access to is 10 a.m., 10 a.m., and then also 11 a.m. So all of these times are free, which is awesome. I could then say Thursday at 10 would be best, like this. And now the agent will be instructed in going in and creating that appointment for them. It will also be instructing and setting a notification to the business owner that they just received a new appointment. You can see it created an email, Gmail send email. If I go into my email right here that I send it to, you can see it says new appointment booked, Albert Olgaard. Here's the phone number. Albert Olgaard has booked an appointment for a car detail. He mentioned his dog Poppy makes a mess with hair. So not even does the AI go in and book an appointment, it also gives additional information in a summary to the client so they know what the conversation was about. So it sent the email and it also added the appointment at 10 a.m. on Thursday. Isn't that cool? Now you have an agent that has access to Gmail. It has knowledge base, so it can check the website. It has a knowledge base, so it has access to a bunch of information about the company, and it can book Google appointments directly into the business owner's calendar. Perfect. That was the first part of the build done. Now we could take this, we can go over to the client and we can show them how it works and ask them if they would be happy with it. This is something that you, when you're good, can create in just a couple of minutes. So you can show a demo like this on every sales call that you go on. In the next module, I'll show you how to demo this for the client so they get a really good understanding of what you are actually selling to them and to make sure they actually see the value so you can close them on the call. Let's get into it, shall we? Let me show you how to actually demo the agent that you just created for the client. The demo page allows you to create an interactive page that you can either send as a link to the client so they can check it out themselves, or that you can screen share on a call for the client so they can see exactly how the agent would look and feel in real life when it's deployed on their website. All I do is that I create demo right here, and this depends on the service we are selling. Here you have 5 different demo types to choose from. A messenger page, an Instagram page. You just want to pick something that's the closest to what you are selling them. And now, because we want to create a website widget, I'm going to choose the website widget. I'm going to call it Gold Coast Demo. I'm going to choose the Gold Coast Pro Detail website widget that we just created, and then I'm going to create the demo. That's going to take you to this page right here, and if we scroll down we can see the website widget. This is just what it looks like. This is the demo, so you can show them exactly, okay, this is what it would look like on your website. But we can do a lot of customization here. I also wanted to show you the other demo types. If you click top right corner, you can still switch it. So if I wanted to show it what it will look like on SMS, I can choose the SMS chat. That's this demo type. I could also choose Messenger if I wanted to show you what it would look like in Messenger. Same with Instagram, and a standard chat is kind of just like a chat UI, so you can demo it if you want that instead. For now, I'm going to choose the website widget so I can show them exactly what it would look like on their website. For the widget title, Gold Coast Demo is probably not the best. It could be something like Gold Coast Pro Detailing. It could just be the name of the detailing company. For the AI assistant, you can even give it a name, but you could also just call it something like AI Assistant or AI Helper. For the appearance, you can change exact colors that you want. You can either choose one of the pre-made theme colors right here. For now, I'm just going to choose the red one, but you could also click this button right here and you can choose the exact color that you want. I kind of like this one, so I'm going to stay with that. You can choose if you want light or dark mode like this. That's going to change the color inside the widget. Then you can choose if you want a professional widget or a legacy widget. I like the professional widget better, So I'm going to pick that one. So that's basically just two different themes. You can choose it if you want it to be responsive or fixed in size. You can choose how big you want it to be and the height. So I can set it to 80%, for example. It's going to be not as wide. I could also set the height to 900, for example, to make it really tall. But for now, to make it easy, I'm just going to choose it as responsive. I can also choose the logo image that I want. So by going in here and saying, okay, I want this logo, I can right click on this logo. I can copy the image address, and under the logo image, I can insert this. And now you can see now we are showing the logo here in the top left corner. The same with the avatar. The avatar is what we are showing inside of this. I could also just change that to the logo. I could also keep it blank. I could also choose this if I wanted to. I can choose whatever URL that I want. Now you can see the inside, and this has now changed to this other image. So you can just go to their website, copy the image URL, do that by right clicking on the logo, copy image URL, and then you just insert it just like this one. This next thing is one of my favorite features on BuildMyAgent. I can actually insert their background on my demo. So if I go to their website and I copy this URL, I go back into background website preview, I can insert the URL, and now it will show the URL of their website in the background. I can also customize what messages I want to show here. I can customize what it says down here, type your message. So let's say that you have a Spanish agent, you can customize all of this. When it's closed, it has a pop-up message. You can say, hi there, need any help? That you can also customize. You can also make it visible and not visible. You can change the delay seconds. And inside of here, you can even add suggested responses. This sometimes helps when it comes to increasing how many actually use their website widget. For now, I'm just going to turn that off to keep it simple. You can also move it bottom left, bottom right. For now, we're just going to keep it here. And if you have the white label plans of BuildMyAgent, they are not included on the starter plan, but you can upgrade to get those. Then you get custom domains. So if I wanted it, instead of it being buildmyagent.io, I could change it to my website domain. My agency is called shiny.ai, so I could change it to something like this, demo.shiny.ai, and then send this link to them instead. That way it's even more customizable and they don't see the BuildMyAgent branding at all. That is under the custom domain settings. The way I do that is that I click add custom domain right here. I'll add demo.shiny.ai, and then it will instruct us in how we add it. But for that, we do need the higher plans of BuildMyAgent. So for now, we're not going to do that, but I just wanted to show you that it's possible. You can even set usage and limits, which basically just says how many messages you want them to be able to send. Again, remember that it is using credits every time that they send a response. So if you only want them to say, okay, I only want you to test you a little bit, you can set it to something like 50. But again, if you use models like GPT 2.5 Flash, you can see from recording all of this, I've only used 1 credit. So if you use a cheaper model, then you have a lot of credits to use from. And remember, you got 1,000 extra. All right, you can also change the background customization if you haven't inserted the actual website. But this is good for now. I'm going to close all of these. And now we can share it with the client. So either what you can do is this, let's say that you have an email thread with the client and you want to show them, here man, I just created a website demo for you. Let me know if you like it. You can just click share right here. You can get a shareable demo URL for the client. You could also, if you wanted to actually embed it on your website, let's say that you want to show everyone, every client, what your website widgets look like. You can embed one on your own website to kind of lead as an example, which can be good to do as well. But for now, let me show you how to share the link. I click the plus right here, which copies it. And now if I paste this into my browser, you can see now you have a demo URL that you can show to the client. You can show them what it would look like, that people can click right here, and then it shows the actual website widget so they can see exactly what it would look like in their case, with what logos you would add, how the AI performs. And if I write hi, you can see the agent actually uses the question flow that we set up. So you can also demo how it would work for the client. Pretty cool, right? So what you can do now with this demo feature is that you can either reach out to a bunch of business owners and already tell them that you created an agent for them. Basically just say, hey man, I created a website widget for your website. Do you want to see it? It's already done. I've already created it for you. I wanted to show you how it looks. That's one way of getting clients. Another way is that you can say, hey man, I already created you a demo, but you haven't actually created it yet. When people say yes to hopping in a call with you, that's when you can create this demo for them, quickly create the agent just by typing in the integrations that you want on the agent, and then go into the demo page, creating the agent like I just showed you. Doesn't have to take more than 5 minutes. And then you can create a demo for them and show them exactly what it would look like on their website on a call. You want them to get that wow factor of saying, oh, that actually looks pretty good. I like it. I want this on my website. When you do that, that's when you can close them on the call and make your first money online. Awesome. We're going to explain much more in this video about how you actually go about selling it to clients. But I just wanted to show you this demo feature, how you can utilize it to the most of its capabilities, because if you use this right, this can be very, very, very valuable for you. The next thing I'm going to show you is when you close the client, when they say yes, when they pay you, how do you actually get it on their website? I told you I'm showing you absolutely everything. Let's get into the next module, shall we? When you're ready and you have closed your first client and you want to deploy it on their website, we can head back to agents right here. And then this is probably when you would add their actual Google Calendar, right? Because you don't have access to their Google Calendar yet if you haven't closed them. So if you have this agent and they like it, you can just go in on the node, click on each of the integrations, click disconnect, because now you probably want to integrate with their calendar. When I've disconnected it, all I do now is that I just authenticate it again. And this time, like I showed you previously, you can use the share link that you can send to the client. And then you can just send this link to the client you want to send one for both Gmail and for Google Calendar. So you get access and the right access to both tools. Awesome. Now we want to actually launch it for the client. The way we do that is that we hit into launch right here. And this shows you the launch tab, and it shows you the sub accounts that we have access to. For now, let me just delete this sub account so we start over. This is what you will see. What I'll do now is that I'll just create my first sub account, and a sub account is basically a separate account where you can invite the clients. And this is really it, because then they can see the conversations that your website widget has with their customers. And that's very important. You want full transparency so they can see the value that your website widget actually provides. We're going to call this sub account Gold Coast Pro Detailing, and I'm going to create the sub account. There we go. What I'll do now is that I'll click in on the sub account, and you can see this takes me to a completely separate page. Now we are on the overview, the dashboard of the sub account. I can now go inside of team and I can send an invite to the client. You can see right now it's only me that has access, but I can click invite team member. I can insert their email. I can choose if I want the link to expire or not. For now, we're just going to set no expire, and then I can send the invite. Now you can see right here, it says pending, and they only have a viewer role. So they can't actually go in and delete your agents or anything. You're the one still managing the agent. They can only see the conversations that the agent has with their customers. What you can also do is that you can head inside of settings and you can customize the sub account to exactly how you want it to look. For example, we want to do it dark mode. I can add a color right here by clicking pick. Let's choose a red color like this one. There we go. And just like before, I can go in and I can copy the image URL by right clicking on the logo image, copy the image URL, and then pasting it inside of here. I can then also see, okay, how big do I want the logo? This big maybe. Click save sub account settings, and now you can see the sub account has this reddish theme and it also has this logo. Let's make it a little larger, maybe like this. Awesome. Now it's time to actually deploy the agent that we created on their website. The way we do that is that we click agent right here, add agent. I call it website widget and I click continue. Here you can see the channels that you have access to. You could also deploy this agent on Instagram, on Messenger, on SMS, on WhatsApp, and you could sell this for around $200 a month per channel that you integrated on. So if you integrated on, let's say, 4 channels, then you're making $800 a month from the client. So already now, with the technical knowledge you have, you can go out and create a really good business. Let's start with the website widget and click continue. Now we choose the agent that we just created, which is the Gold Coast Pro Detail website widget. Click create agent, and now it will create the website widget for us. Notice now that the agent is now in the left-hand corner. You can add as many agents as you want, and they're going to show in the left side. So the client, from their perspective, they have all of their agents in one place. I can now go in, I can change it. If I wanted to, I can change it to light mode. I'm probably going to do that just because the website, if I scroll down, is light mode. I can then also change the colors. Let's take this red color, for example. I can change the width and the height if I want to, but for now, let's keep it like this. And we want the widget to be bottom right. I can change the widget size that I want, but I think this is fine for now. For the message, I could change language to whatever I want, like Spanish. It's going to translate all of the information inside of the widget. For now, I want it in English. I could change the welcome message. This is the message that's showing up right here. For now, I like this. I can also change the suggested messages. This could be what services do you offer? Do you offer mobile detailing? Yeah, that's probably fine for now. What are the pricing plans? Just like that. And you can add as many as you want. But for now, I think 3 is good. Then we can also change the pop-up message. Right now it says, hey there, need any help? I could change this to, do you have a question? Like that. Under the branding tab, we can change what the widget is called. We could ask this, we could call this just maybe the name, Gold Coast Pro Detail. We can change the AI name to be AI Helper, just like we showed in the demo. We could also call it whatever we want. We could also call it James, AI James, for example. You can call it whatever that you want. We can also change the Start New Chat button. This website widget is actually pretty cool because it allows you to save message conversation as well and see previous conversations. But you can change the exact buttons on this too. You can also change the images. And you do that again just by copying an image from their website. For example, this one is actually pretty cool, so I can copy the image address from that. I can go back into the sub account and I can edit by clicking the plus. You can see now it has been added like this. I could of course also go in and probably maybe this logo is better to use. Copy this image address and then insert that instead. Now we have it like that. I can also change the size of it on the logo to make it a little smaller, just like that. Let's say I want to add images to the other places as well. I can use this toggle right here, use different images for each context. And then I could insert a different image URL, like this one maybe. I could copy the image URL on this. I can insert it here. And now you can see, now we have updated this to have this cool little icon here, which is pretty cool. When I'm done and I think, okay, now I'm ready to launch the website widget, I can click save right here, which is going to save my configuration. And then I can click this deploy button. This will have a video of how to embed the website widget, but I'm also just going to show you it's not that hard. I just click this copy button right here, and then I go to their website builder. Almost all website builders can. You can insert this on all website builders because most website builders have this code block right here. And all I need to do is just click code, click on this, open code editor, and then paste in that code that we got from our sub account that we got right here from the deploy button. Then I click save. I remember to click save in the bottom right, top right corner. I click publish, and there we go. If you don't have access to the client's website, then you might need to just tell them to insert this code. It's not that hard, and you can also just hop on a call with them and guide them through how they add it to their website. Now, if I refresh the page, you can see that now we have a website widget that pops up just like this with the do you have a question text. And now it works. I can write, what services do you guys offer? And the agent will now respond. We offer in-house detailing. It's exactly like it did in our demo. Now we're done. Now you know how to insert an AI service that you can sell for a couple of $100 a month. And as I mentioned, you could add more agents. You could add more agents here in the left-hand side. Call one Instagram agent and use the Instagram channel instead. If you want to do that, you just click continue. There are guides just like the other one with a video that explains how to set that up. Congratulations, you now know the basics of the tech that you can now really create a cool business on top of. Now we've set up the website widget on our website. We can even also embed an AI agent that gives our potential clients another way to test our agents. The way we can do that is also inside of BuildMyAgent. I can go to the demo section in the left-hand side and I can click create a demo. I'm going to choose the standard chat, but we could also choose any of the others if we wanted to. And then I'm going to call this a Shiny Embedded Agent. I'm going to choose the exact same build we used before, the Shiny Website Agent, and I'm just going to click create a demo. For the demo name, I'm just going to call it Shiny AI Agent. And in the appearance, we can again set a color. So just like we did before, I'm going to take a screenshot of the color that we have on our website. I'm going to search Hexi from picture. I'm going to go to this website that's called imagecolorpicker.com, get the Hexi color from that, and then insert the custom color, just like that one. Then we make sure that we have the right color. We can even change it from light to dark mode. Because our website is already in dark mode, I think dark mode is going to look the best. And we can insert a logo image. So I can do it just like I did before. I can copy the image address of this. I can insert it. And now you can see we have our little logo in the top left corner. I can also make it a little larger if I wanted to, like this. Click apply changes. And now you can see it's a little larger. Make it even larger if you wanted to. Just like this. If we didn't want this text right here, a little trick that you can do, I can just insert some spaces right here. That way, this text doesn't show up here. Little trick for you. We can display this welcome message if you want to. I think it's a good idea. We can write something like, do you have any questions about Shiny AI? Ask them. Yeah. And for the input field, we could change this if you want to, but I think type your message is a pretty good message. We could even already display a client message. We're not going to do that. We can even hide the share button. Sometimes it can be good to have a share button. For now, we don't want it, so I'm just going to hide that. The domain settings, because we are embedding it, it doesn't really matter usage limits is really good because we can set a limit for how many requests we want them to be able to do on our website. And this is in total. We can always go in and we can change the limit. So for now, I'm going to set it to something like 500. This will last us a pretty long time, but we don't want to show a request counter. If we wanted to, we can even do more customization and choose a background color for the header. But for now, we're not going to mess with that. I think this looks pretty good. So I'm just going to click save just like that. And here comes the little trick that not that many people know, but you can click share right here, and then you can get the embed code. So you can embed it on our website. The way we do that is that we head into our website builder. It's very similar to the website widget. We want to embed this little script right here on our website. Again, if you haven't set up your website yet, then there's a link to a YouTube video right below that shows how you can set up your website for free for the first 30 days. And it's using Go High Level, which is also really good software for a lot of other stuff. So I'm going to click in on the shiny website right here on my website. I'm going to go to the page and I'm going to scroll down where I want the demo. What we can do is that we can take this section right here and we can duplicate it. Now you can see we have two of the sections. Then we can change the title to try the agent in action, and then agent in action we can maybe make bold so it gets that cool color. For now we're going to delete all of these because we don't want those. Now we can insert our custom code block, which is what we'll be using for this embed script. So I'm just going to insert a custom code block right here. I'm going to click open code editor. Then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to copy this embed code right here that we can then insert. I then click save, I click publish, and if we then refresh our page, scroll down, now you can see we have our demo right here on our page. Right now it's set to responsive, so it's just going to take up the place that it has. If we want to, let's say, not make it as tall as it is right now, we can customize it further. The way we do that is that we go inside of here, we click fixed size. You can change this to whatever looks good on your website, 575 maybe. Again, delete browsing data. There you go. I kind of like this height. This height looks pretty good because you can both see the agent and you can see the button. I might think it's a little too wide though. To fix that, we can go back into BuildMyAgent and we can set the width to 80% instead. We can copy this, set the width to 80% so now it's not as wide. And again, I'm going to delete the browsing data, close the windows, open a new incognito window, because then I'm sure that it updates the website and it loads fresh. And now you can see it's not as wide anymore, but it's not censored. And this depends on your website and how you have done it. So if you run into any issues like this, here's how to fix it. You can take this script that you are getting from BuildMyAgent. We can head into ChatGPT, paste the script, and then I say, please make sure this is censored. Copy this script, and then we insert it into BuildMyAgent again. And then we see if it has censored it correctly now. Boom! Now you can see the widget is not as wide. It is not as tall, we've customized the sizing, and it's much smaller. Another thing we can do is that we can actually make the corners rounded, which I think looks a little better for our website, because all the buttons on our website is also rounded. Usually you want to keep the styling consistent. So I can go into ChatGPT and copy our code, and I can say, please make the corners rounded. The great thing about custom code is that you can actually customize it a lot just by asking ChatGPT to do it. So again, same stuff, go in, publish, and then again we want to delete the browsing data, open a new incognito window. This is the best way to make sure that it's loading fresh. And then if we scroll down, now you can see our corners are also rounded. I think this looks pretty good. And if people write something like, what services do you offer? See? The AI responds like this. Would it make sense to get a free AI audit? Yeah, I would like an audit. Perfect. And then it gives the calendar link where when people go to this, they can now book a time in our calendar. Huh? Pretty cool. Now there's two places where they can interact with an agent. They can both do it in the bottom right corner with our website widget that's going to show everywhere on the page. And when they scroll, they're going to see this and they can try the agent in action. All right. There's even more places that we can set this up, so let's get into it. Now we have installed the website widget on our website. It's time to also install it on our business Instagram page. The way we do that is that we head back into BuildMyAgent, and we're going to use the same agent that we just created, which is the shiny website agent. I head into launch, and then I click the same sub account that we used for the website widget. We just click add agent, and then we just call this Instagram and click continue. We choose the Instagram DMs, and then we use the same agent which we used for the website, which is the shiny website agent, and we click create agent. Now we get this information right here. If I click show setup guide and video, it's going to show us a guide for how to integrate with ManyChat, and we can even get ManyChat for free for an entire month. So if I click get ManyChat for free, it's going to take us to this page right here. I can click get your 100% off discount code and click continue with Google, and then log in with my Google account. You then want to go through the sign-up flow until you get to the pricing page right here. So here we're going to fill out our card information, but we get a completely free 30-day trial. When we have set up our card, then we are active on the free trial. What we need to do now is go back into BuildMyAgent, and then we click this template. That is going to take us to this template right here. So I just click install, and I click install now. That's going to install this template to our ManyChat account so we can use it just like that. Let's go into automation and see if it has been imported correctly. Now you see this folder right here, and if we click this, you can see we have our Instagram DM chatbot flow and Facebook Messenger chatbot flow. We'll be using both. If you haven't done it already, we need to connect our Instagram account. We do that by going into settings, then clicking on Instagram, and then clicking connect. And if we click trouble with this method, and then choose connect with Instagram, then we can log in directly with our Instagram account. And boom, after we have logged in, I've logged in with Oliver's real account right here, just to have an account that we haven't connected already. So we click let's start. We then head into settings and into channels. We want to ensure that the default reply is set to the flow, which is the Instagram DM chatbot flow. And now we want to head into automation, into the flow that was imported, the Instagram DM chatbot flow, and we want to click edit up here. We click on this action, and in the left hand side we click on this external request, and now we need to change some information from BuildMyAgent. Now we need to change this webhook URL and the secret to the information from BuildMyAgent. So I'm going to copy the webhook URL, go back, insert it right here, then I'm going to copy the webhook secret and insert that in the webhook secret space, and then I'm going to click save, and I'm going to remember to update it in the top right corner. I'm going to do the exact same thing in this next action. I'm going to click this and update it with the exact same information. The only difference here is that there's an endpoint on this fetch URL. So I'm going to copy this, and I insert this right here before the fetch URL. So this is still fetch results is still at the end. And I'm going to insert the same webhook secret right here. And I'm going to click save. And then remember to update it. Let's test it, shall we? If I write, what services do you guys offer? You can see the AI responds with the exact information it does on our website. It is the same agent. If I then write, yeah, I would love an audit. It says, awesome, let's get you set up. What mornings, afternoons, you should work best for a quick phone call. Mornings. There you go. It says perfect. You can book a morning time in my calendar, and you can see on the Instagram, if I can make this, you can see the clickable link is there. So people can click this, and that takes them to the Calendly page where they can book an appointment, or calendar is right there. Cool. It says, just grab a slot that works for you, and we'll dive into how AI can transform your business. Now you have an AI on your Instagram. Isn't that pretty cool? In the next video, I'm going to show you guys how to also connect this to your Facebook page, your Facebook business page. This is really smart because when you start running ads, for example, a lot of people will also DM your page. So having an AI to respond to all of those conversations can save you a lot of time and show people what it's all about. That's pretty cool, huh? The cool thing we can also do now is that we can change our caption to say DM us demo to see the agent in action with your own eyes. And when someone DMs the page demo, the AI will pick up and it will chat with them and they can see how it is to talk with AI. Pretty cool, huh? In the next module, we're going to set this up on our business Facebook page as well. So let's get into that. We have now installed the agent on our website and on Instagram. Now it's time to do it on our Facebook page and via Messenger. The way we do that is that we go to settings, we go into Messenger, and then we click connect. And you can see I already have a page connected right here. You just click connect and you log in with your Facebook profile and you choose the page that you want to connect. After you've done that, you're going to go to this page right here and it's going to be connected. So let's start. It's the exact same flow as before. Now we just use the Facebook Messenger chatbot instead of the Instagram DM chatbot. So if I click on this and I click edit automation, first things first is that we change the trigger to every time, and then we change this action right here, and then we go back inside of BuildMyAgent, we click add agent, and this one we call Messenger, click continue, then we choose Facebook Messenger, click continue. We select the agent that's called the shiny website agent, just like this, and then we create it. And then it's just like before. We copy the webhook URL, we go back into ManyChat, and we insert the webhook URL right here. And then for the token, we paste that in the webhook secret place right here. And we click save. We do the exact same thing in this other action right here. The only thing that's different here is that this fetch response, we keep that. So it's just before this fetch response. And the exact same thing with the webhook secret. And then we click save. Great. And now we are ready to test it. So if I go into Facebook on my phone and I write, hey, how's it going? You can see the automation is triggered. It says, hey there, doing great. Thanks for asking. What brings you by today? And they can write, looking to get AI implemented into my business. See, it pops up here. The automation triggers and it almost sends it instantly. That's awesome. I love it. Would it make sense? We provide free audits. And there you see, it works exactly like expected. Now we have an AI deployed both on our Instagram, on our website, and on our Facebook page. This is really smart especially when you start to run ads, because then a lot of people will also DM the page, and you can literally run ads to Messenger saying that you can try our agent. You can try chatting with our agent in the chat. Another cool thing you can do is that if you go back into BuildMyAgent sub account, you can click conversations up here, and you can actually see the conversations inside of here as well. So you don't even need to go inside of ManyChat to see them. This is the one from Instagram, and here we can see all of the conversations too. Now you know how to create a website widget and how to install it on a website. Now you need to go and sell it. What better way of doing that than installing it on your own website? So if any potential clients goes to your website, they can see exactly why it's smart to have a widget on their website. And what better way to show why a widget is a good idea to install on a website than having it on your own website. So that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to create a widget for ourselves and then install it on our website. This is my website right here, and this is built in Go High Level. If you don't have a website already, then I will link this YouTube video right below. It's completely free. It explains how to set up a website with Go High Level in just about 10 minutes. Then you can come back to this video right after. To install a widget on your own website, we head back into BuildMyAgent, click go to the workspace, and then we create a new agent. We click from the template right here, and let's choose the sales agent. This agent only has a knowledge base, but that is perfect for what we are creating. There we go. The first thing I'll do is that I'll change the model to Claude 4.5 Haiku. I think this model is really, really good for its price. And AI Expert Receptionist for AI Agency, so it knows what it's a receptionist for. Then we scroll down to the question flow. We want to create a good question flow that answers any questions that the user might have and then gets them to book an appointment. First thing we can write answer user question, then ask, would it make sense to see how AI can be implemented into your business? We provide free audits, something like this. We want to spark some interest so we can get them to book a call. Next question could be, would mornings, afternoons usually work best for a quick call? And if they answer mornings, afternoons, then just say perfect, you can book a morning/afternoon time in my calendar on this link. We can then insert the link for our calendar. You can see this calendar link right here. I can copy this and I can then insert it and give it to the agent. Perfect, you can book a morning in my calendar on this link. I just insert the calendar link right here so they can book an appointment. For the company FAQ, we can always install information later. I'm actually going to write for any
company information, use the knowledge base. For temperature, we're going to keep that at 0.3 and top P at 1. As a title, I'm going to call it Shiny Website Agent. I'm going to save the changes, and let's add the knowledge base. Instead of uploading a knowledge base, we instead click Import Website, and then we can import our own website. So I can go to the Shiny website, I can copy this URL, and then I can insert it. And I can click Add another URL. Something that might be interesting as well is the results right here. You can paste that in too. Add another URL that says referrals. It explains our referral program. Paste that in as well. And we can even insert our terms of service and privacy policy as well. There we go. Now we click import, and what that's going to do is that it's going to scrape all of these pages. It's going to take all this information and then collect it inside of a PDF file. I can then upload this file to the agent, and now it has access to all of this information. And I can test it and ask, what does Shiny AI do? It'll now use the knowledge base, and you can see it's very casual. Hey, so Shiny AI is basically an AI that reaches out to your lost customers and turns them into sales. Pretty cool stuff. Here's the main thing. The AI takes your customers, sounds human but robotic, and books appointments and closes deals for you. No need to change how you work day to day. It just handles the follow-up automatically. The results speak for itself. This is pretty good. I like how it responds, and it's very good. And then you can see at the end it says, would it make sense to see how AI can be implemented into your business? We provide free audits. Yeah. I could be interested in an audit. Nice, love it. What mornings, afternoons usually work best for a quick phone call? Mornings. Perfect. You can book a morning time in my calendar on this link, and then it sends the calendar link. This in this chat right here is not going to be clickable, but when we deploy it to our website widget, then this link right here will be clickable so they can directly book a call. Looking forward to chatting with you. Awesome. Now we have a flow that I like, we have an agent that I like. It's very simple, only a knowledge base, but that is really all we need. When we use a good model and this pre-made prompt right here that we built from our template, then it makes it very easy just to build these agents. Cool. Now I'm gonna head under launch, and I'm gonna create a new sub account for my own agency. So I'm gonna call this Shiny AI. And I'm gonna create a sub account, just like that. I'm gonna click this, and there you can see our dashboard. I can now go inside of settings. If we wanted to, we could change the colors. It's kind of already our theme colors. Maybe we make it dark mode so it matches our landing page. I think that looks pretty cool. And then we can insert a logo. The way we do that is that we hit under here, we say copy image address. We insert that, and then click Save Sub Account Theme, and that will now update this logo in the top left corner. It's a little small, so let's make it a little bigger. And save again. Make it even bigger, maybe, like that. I think that looks pretty cool. If I wanted to, and I have any other team members in my AI agency, and I want them to be able to see the website widget conversations, I can add them under team. But for now, let's just stick to me. Then I click Add Agent, and then we call it Website Widget. This is basically the name it's going to have in this left sidebar right here. We are also going to add this later to our Instagram and to our Messenger. So we want to keep track of where we have it deployed. Click Continue. Then we choose this website widget right here. You can see these are the other channels that we could choose. In the next coming videos, I'm also going to show you how you install it on your business Instagram DM and on your business Facebook profile. Click Continue. Then we select the agent build that we just created that we call Shiny Website Agent, and we create the agent just like that. There we go. Now you can see this is what our agent will look like. Right now it's a little this dark green right here. I want it in this lighter green color right here. Here's a quick tip. If you don't know what color a thing on a website is, you can take a screenshot. Then you can search for Hexi from picture. Click the top one, this imagecolorpicker.com. And when you paste in that image right here, you can actually click on it and you can get the Hexi color. And we're going to use that. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back into BuildMyAgent. I'm going to insert the Hexi color. Now you can see we have the exact same bright green color as before. For the height and width, we can change that, but I kind of like this. And I want to place the widget in the bottom right corner. We could also place it anywhere else if we wanted to, but for now that's fine. And I think this standard widget size is good as well. For the language of the widget, we're going to keep it English. And for the welcome message, we can write, hey, thinking about installing AI into your business, ask me anything. Maybe remove this, hey, I think this is a little clean. Thing about installing it into your business, ask me anything. For the type holder input message, we're just going to keep it the standard. For the typing message, we're just going to keep it default. And then we can change these suggested responses. These are basically these messages right here. So let's change those. What does Shiny do? Give me a quote. What results can I expect? These messages right here are pretty good conversation starters. And for the pop-up message, this is basically the message that pops up right here. It can also be something like this. Do you want to try an agent? Like this. I think that looks pretty clean. You could also turn it off if you don't want to, but this is really good at getting them to actually click on it. For the branding, we can change the chat title right here. We can change this to Shiny AI, just writing our agency name. For the AI assistant, we can call it AI agent maybe instead. I like that. For these buttons right here, let's just keep it at new conversations and at previous conversations. I think that's good. We can click this toggle right here, and then we can use different images for the icons. So I can go in, I can copy our image URL, our logo, and then we can insert it as the header logo like this, and I can click this check mark, and now you can see it says Shiny AI up here as well. Instead of this, we can maybe write AI agent, so it says Shiny AI agent maybe. And then for the avatar logo, we can also insert this image, and for the widget logo, we can also insert it just like that. But you can see now it's not cropped correctly, so we can click this crop button right here, and then inside of the avatar, I can drag this so it goes to the right spot. Maybe we do like this. I kind of like that it's not in the center. Click apply, and the same for the widget. We can zoom out a bit, and then we can drag to the widget. This avatar, we can zoom it in a bit maybe, and let's center this. I think that might look better. There we go. I think this looks pretty good. For this widget title right here, maybe it's better if we delete it. So what I can do is I can mark this all, and I can just click space, so it's as a space, because that will not show right here. And then you can see now it's not visible. So now I have a website widget that I think look pretty good. We can save it right here, and then we can click deploy. This will give us this code right here, and this is the code that we're going to use to install it on our website. If you have installed it on high level, like I showed in the YouTube video, then you can follow this one-to-one. But basically any website builder allows you to insert custom code like this, so you can insert custom elements. So if we copy this code right here and hit into high level or wherever we have our website builder, I'll go to our main website right here. I'll click edit. I will edit our Shiny website, and all we have to do now is that I can scroll down to the bottom. I can click add code, and then I'll just add a code block right here. This allows us to add anything we want to our website. I click open code editor. I insert this script right here, and I click save, and then I click publish. And again, this is how you do it on a high level, but this is basically possible on any website builder. There we go. And after we are published, I can then refresh our website right here. And in the bottom right corner, you now see our website widget, just like this one. Now we have a website widget in the bottom right corner of our website. And if we ask it, what do you guys do? And books appointment or closes deals for you. Here's what we do, and it gives a brief overview. And at the end it asks, now would it make sense to see how AI can implement into your business? We provide free audits. Sure, I would like an audit. Nice, love the enthusiasm. What mornings, afternoons usually work best? They write mornings. Perfect, you can book a morning time in my calendar on this link. If they click this, it takes them to the calendar link right here, where they can book an appointment. Looking forward to chatting with you soon. Awesome. That is how you create a website widget like this one and how you install it on your website. I'll link this video if you haven't created your website yet for how to create a website in 10 minutes using our template. In the next video, we are going to go over how you install this same agent but on your Instagram as well and on your Facebook Messenger. It's going to be a good one. Let's get into it. In this video, we're going to build a Shopify support bot that can look at order numbers, look at tracking, and also provide support about products. These customer support bots are in super high demand because there are so many customers in e-commerce. Let's get into it, shall we? Build this agent. We're going to use the new BuildMyAgent update. We've made it very easy to integrate with Shopify. All I write is create a customer support agent with access to Shopify. We'll now build the agent and give it access to Shopify, which is going to be really useful. By the way, guys, what do you guys think about this new BuildMyAgent shirt? Pretty sweet, huh? There we go. Now we have an agent with access to Shopify, and let's start off by connecting it so we can instantly see that it's working. We click connect Shopify in the top left corner, and then we want to connect it via an API key. We then want to go inside of our Shopify store. I've made a demo Shopify store just to show you guys. Inside of settings, and then inside of apps and integrations, apps and sales channels, we can click develop apps right here. And this process from Shopify is not very intuitive, so
luckily I'm going to show you guys exactly how you do it. You click create an app top right corner, then we just call it BuildMyAgent app, and I create the app. Then we click a configure API scopes, and here we want to configure what tools we want to give the AI access to. But now I'm just gonna enable all of them just so our agent can do it, because we can limit this from the BuildMyAgent side as well, what tools it can run. So for now, I'm just gonna create an app that gives BuildMyAgent access to all the things inside of the Shopify. But for example, if you're setting this up for a client and they don't want to give access to anything in here, you can just not click it on. But the one that's important is the read orders. There's a lot of stuff here we might not use. Also read prices are really good. So I'm just clicking all of these on. There's a lot. I just want an agent now that has access to absolutely everything. And you can do two things with this integration. You can either create a customer support bot that can help customers with specific questions. You could also create an internal agent for a Shopify store that can basically help with answering any questions, like about stock, etc. In the top right corner, we want to click save, and then we want to go back to the overview. Now we want to install the app on our Shopify store, and then click install. And this gives us this admin API access token. You can only reveal this once, so it's very important that we copy it from here. I copy this, and I go back and I insert it into BuildMyAgent, just like that, and I click authenticate. Now it will ask for the store subdomain. The way you find that is that you go back into Shopify, and then into settings, you can find this start part right here is our Shopify subdomain. We don't want to include this .myshopify, so just paste that in and then I delete that. This is our, you can see our unique identifier for our shop. We're going to paste that in and then click continue. There we go. Now we have an agent that has access to Shopify. I can then test it and ask it, can you please check what products I have? And then I hit enter, and now the agent can look through the Shopify API. You can see it uses Shopify get products. And then it says, I found one test product. It costs 10,000 and has one image. If I go to my actual Shopify page, you can see this is the one product that we have, test product for 10,000. Awesome. If there's something that I don't want the AI to have access to, like creating a product, I can just disable that. You want to disable everything that it shouldn't have access to, because you don't want the agent to have too much access, especially if it's engaging with customers. So adding a product we probably don't need. Count product images we probably don't need either. Create a custom collection we don't need. Create a product, we want to create the products ourselves. Create an order. This could be interesting. You could create an agent that can actually take orders. That would be a really cool idea. For now, we're just going to create a basic customer support agent, so we don't need to create orders yet. Create a customer we don't need. Create a product image we don't need. Delete a product we don't need. There's a lot of these that we don't need. This one, get all customers and get customers, is pretty cool. And get custom orders, this is where the support agent starts to get good. Now the customer can engage with the customer support agent, give their email for example, and then the agent can provide information about their order. Get order by ID is pretty good. Get order list is also good. We probably don't need get product images. Get products is good. Get products count is also we don't need that. Get products in collection, get shop details, update order. Maybe we don't need to update order either. We just only want the AI to be able to get information. We don't want it to change anything inside of our shop. Cool, now we have disabled all of those. Now I can close this. What I want to do now also is that I want to add a knowledge base. A knowledge base can add a lot of good information to the agent so it can answer more questions. So I'll click add integration. I'll click add knowledge base and then import website. This one is a little boring. There's not that much going on this one. So for now, let's create what is a famous Shopify store? Gymshark. Let's create a Gymshark agent that knows everything about their store. So just copy this URL right here. I click import website URL and then I click add another URL. And now I can go in and I can find more information. The about us section is usually pretty good because this has a lot of information about the company. So now also can insert that. I'm going to click add another URL. This one, their in-person stores are also pretty good. So I'm going to copy that one and insert that too. Sustainability is also pretty important. I'm going to take that and insert that. You see they have a training app as well. If you want our AI to be able to give information about the training app, then I can insert that. We have an FAQ page right here. This is definitely something we should include. Let's insert that too. Then they also have a page about delivery information. I think that one would be really good to have as well. All of these pages is basically just feeding the AI with information that it needs. We can also see here that it says make a return. There's probably some information about how to do that. So I'm going to insert that too. The returns policy. Can I exchange my item? We can include that as well. There we go. Now we have a bunch of information that we can feed the AI. So I'm going to click import and now it will scrape and fetch all of the information on these pages and upload it to a file that we can then use React to go in and find. And see, some of these it wasn't able to do. That's fine, I guess. We can just remove those. But it was able to fetch all of this information from here. So I can click upload file. And now we have all of this information on these pages right here. And then click done. If I wanted to get this information as well, for example, I could just go inside and I can upload a file as well. So let's do that too. I can create a docs, call that docs.new, and then I just call it additional information. Actually pretty good that I can show this guys to you. Some websites are not able to be crawled like this one, but now I can just Control A, all this information and insert it. And I'll do that still right here. The returns policy is good as well. Basically creating an agent based on all of the information that they have. How do I return items? You can insert this into a PDF. There's a lot of good support information right here that we can give to our AI agent. I don't know what this Thrift Plus is, but let's insert it. Now we have a 21 long document with additional support information. What I can do is that I can click file right here. I can just download this as a PDF file, for example. And I can then just go in, click this upload right here, and then upload the PDF. And then I'll add that as well. So now we have both the additional information that we just added and the website import. So I click done right here. I also want to have a better model than the one that we currently have. So I actually really like Grok 4 Fast. I think this is one of the best models for the price. So we're going to get that one. Temperature, I'm going to set that down a little bit to 0.3. And you can see our prompt is actually pretty good. I'm going to save the changes and let's try it again. Again, it's still connected to our Shopify store. We would, of course, if we were to work with Gymshark, we would connect it to the Gymshark store. What products do I have? It should still be able to answer. You can see it's the test product. It even included the image right here. And it also has default title, one in stock. It shows all of that information right there, which is cool. I want to make this a little more friendly so it actually sounds like a support agent. I can do that by using the agent builder right here. And I can say, please update my prompt to be a support agent. Keep the current tools, but make it more friendly. Respond with short and concise responses. It will be used for a website widget. We can get our agent builder to actually update our prompt to make it more friendly. See, it did a lot of changes. It added this right here. You are a friendly and concise support agent for a website widget ready to assist users with their inquiries. All of this information. I click apply. Now our prompt is now updated. I can then write what products do we have in good store. Currently have one product, this product right here, only one variant available. If you're looking for more details, let me know how I can assist further. Perfect. Now I can see that the answer is much more concise. We could also ask a question about the knowledge base, like what is your return policy? There you can see it comes with a very long response, but that's probably good. You want to have all of the information in the response. We make returns easily for items bought from Gymshark or our app, as long as they are gives a lot of good information. We can ask it what is Thrift Plus, wasn't that what that was called? There we go. Now we have a very good agent that can basically respond to any questions there's about the information that we gave it, which is cool. But some cool use cases that you can have, and the reason we integrated it directly with Shopify, is that if I go in here and I add a customer, for example, see I already added myself, I can create an order. Browse, I'm just going to add the test product right here, and I'm going to mark that as paid and create it as an order. Now we have this order right here. And I can take the order number and we can ask our AI about it. Can you check the status of my order? Hopefully it asks for the order number. Sure, I'll be happy to check the status. Could you please provide your order number or your email associated with the order? Here is my order number. Your order, 1002 ID for the test product was placed today at 1740 and has successfully paid. Since this item doesn't require shipping, it's now completely ready, no further action needed. If this doesn't match what you expected by more details, let me know. Cool. All of the information that it gets, you'll be able to see. So in a real Shopify store, they would have a shipping address right here and a billing address. All of that it'll be able to see. That's pretty cool, huh? I can then click mark as fulfilled. I can ask it again, is it fulfilled now? Yes, the order is now fulfilled since the test run also fulfilled payment. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. So now we have an AI that can search up orders. This is where it becomes really crazy. You could hook this up to a support Gmail and thereby respond to all support requests and have an AI that has access to all systems. Or you could at least create an agent and then create drafts based on this. This is where it starts to become really, really valuable. And it's crazy that not more people are talking about AI agents in e-commerce, because e-commerce is such a numbers game. There's so many customers and support requests and a lot of manual work of tracking all the orders, etc. And AI can be a big use there. Now we have an agent that has a knowledge base about the company and can go in and check order status of all the orders. That's pretty cool, huh? If you wanted to create some more of a Jarvis setup for Shopify stores where they could go in and ask questions about their own store, all you would do is just enable all of this information right here, so it can now also go in and delete products or add products, etc. Let's say that we are ready to deploy this agent. You would, of course, in a real world scenario, go in, update the prompt more. If there's any rules, if there's any things it shouldn't do or should do, update the prompt and also update the tools that it has access to. But let's say that we want to deploy this Shopify agent. All we would do is we would come over to this left-hand side right here and click launch. Now we would create a new sub account. I'm gonna call this Gymshark. I'm gonna create the sub account and hit into it. I'm gonna customize it a bit. I'm gonna make it, I think light mode fits Gymshark well, but Gymshark is probably more of a black color, I'd say. So we're gonna make the theme black. I can even insert Gymshark's logo by right clicking on the logo and copying the image address and then inserting it right here and click save. I can see we have the Gymshark logo in the top left corner. Let's make this a little bigger, just like that. There we go. There you can see, I think this looks pretty cool. What I'll do now is that I'll go inside of team, and let's say that we are setting this up for Gymshark. What I would do is that I would invite them to the sub account. Then they can see the conversations, they can see what's going on, they know exactly the work that you're doing. I would then invite John at gymshark.com like this, for example, send him an invite so he also has access to this sub account. And you can see when we do that, I don't think there's a John at Gymshark, maybe there is, maybe there's not. But you can see that it will now be pending. So I'm going to delete this invite and now he is gone. Let's go in and set up the agent. The way we do that is that we click add agent right here. So we add an agent to the sub account and now we call it website widget. This is the name that's going to show up in the left hand side right here. We click continue and then we're going to choose the website widget, but we could also deploy this agent to WhatsApp or to SMS or to Instagram DMs, etc. For now, let's set it up via the website widget. Click continue and then we select the build that we just created, which is the Shopify support agent. And I then create the agent. We can then customize this agent. I actually think this in gray looks pretty cool. We probably want it in light mode just because the website is also in light mode. We can change the width and the height of this. We can keep it in the bottom right corner. We can also change the size of how big the minimize widget is. I think this is pretty good. We can change the language of the prompt if we wanted to make it any other language. For now, let's do it English. And we can change the welcome message. So something like, do you have any questions? The input placeholder is basically this type your message. I think that's pretty good. And the typing text is also pretty good. Maybe we just delete this typing text so it only has these loading dots. I think that would be better. We can actually just insert a space right here and then it just has this loading, which I think looks a little more clean. So a new conversation right here. Then we can have the suggested responses like what is your product, how does it work, what are the pricing plans. We could add frequently asked questions like what is your return policy, tell me about sustainability, what is the Gymshark method, something. You can change into something that fits the brand. The pop-up message is this message that pops up right here. Hi there, need any help? For now, we can make those do you have any questions as well. Kind of like it when this message right here is the same message we also have right here. I think that makes logical sense. You can close these again. And then to the branding. We can change it from chat widget right here to something like Gymshark. AI assistant, we could change to AI helper or something like that. For now, I think AI assistant is probably pretty good. We can also change all these buttons, new conversation and previous conversation. I think that's fine for now. And now we can insert a header logo. So we can go back into Gymshark, copy this header right here, copy the image address, and then insert it and click this. Now you can see it says Gymshark up in the top left corner right here. When we have that, we probably don't need this widget title. So I can just do that. So now it says Gymshark like that. I could also, if I wanted to, I can make it a little smaller, like that. And if I click this button right here, it also gives me the option to add an avatar logo and a widget logo. So I'm gonna insert the same image both places. And we definitely want to crop this a little bit, the widget. This picture is pretty good for this right here, but when it comes to an actual round image, this image is probably not the best. Let's see if we can find a better image on their website. I think this one would be a little more fitting for a round icon. So I can copy this image URL right here, and I can go back, and then I will change this to be this instead, this to be this instead. That looks a lot better, I think. Now we have a website widget that looks really cool in my opinion. All we need to do now is just remember to click save, and now we can deploy it. Just click deploy right here, and that's going to give us this deploy script. If I copy this, then we can go back into our Shopify store, and let me show you guys how to insert it. All that we do is that we go into online store right here, and then we want to get the actual code. So we click on these three dots right here, and we click edit code. That's going to give us the actual code of the website. Then we head under layout until we find the theme.liquid, because this is something that's loaded on every single page. So what we do is that right under the bottom tag right here is where we can insert some scripts. So I'm going to insert this script right here. Make sure that it's that, and then I'm going to click save, and boom, now you can see we have the widget on our website. That is pretty cool, huh? And we can also test it, like what is your return policy, and you can see it's still the same agent that we had, and it's giving all of this information to us. Cool. That is how you create a Shopify agent, how you enable it to check orders based on order numbers, and how you insert it on a Shopify website. If you have any questions, then make sure to leave a comment down below. As always, guys, remember to subscribe. If you want more guides like this, then we have a completely free 3-day challenge in the description right below. This one AI agent has resulted in 90% of profit for our AI agency. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how this AI agent works, how you can set it up for your own business and your own clients. And I'm even going to create a campaign of my own so you can see exactly how we do it. You ready? Let's get into it. I have visualized the system. It might look a bit complicated, but after me showing this to you, you're going to know exactly how it works. Most companies, they run some kind of marketing. This could be ads or pay-per-click, so either on Facebook or on Google. It could also be door knocking. They could buy long lead lists from lead vendors, or they could also get leads from referrals. But the way it works is that they get the name and phone number of interested prospects through these marketing channels. What then happens is that they have some kind of internal sales system. Usually it looks like this, where they call them up and they say, hey, I see you signed up on our ad and you're interested in solar. And they basically just qualify them on that phone call. And if the lead is interested and they're qualified, then they send them to a closer team as an appointment, and then it turns into sales. But what will happen with most leads is that they are either not going to pick up their phone, or they're not going to be interested at the moment, which means that they end up right here as old and dead leads in a lead database where they're doing absolutely nothing with them. And the reason for that is that it used to be way too expensive to call these old leads because the interest level is low, which means that if you needed to hire someone to call all of those leads, it would be very, very expensive. And the return on investment wouldn't be there, or that's at least before AI became this good. Because we can add a system to their already existing system, which is a reactivation agent. What will happen is that this agent will reach out to all of these old and dead leads way cheaper than any human ever could do it. It will then start personalized AI conversations with every single lead in their database, and it'll book in the 1% that is interested. And you might think, well, 1%, that's almost nothing. But let's do the math. If they have 10,000 old lead records that they couldn't convert, and we convert 1% of that into an appointment, that means that we are booking 100 appointments. Depending on the industry, we can charge anywhere from $20 to $50 per appointment. And that means that we're making between $2,000 and $5,000 from a single campaign from one client. And that's only 10,000 leads. We have worked with companies that have hundreds of thousands and millions of leads. And you can see how quickly that stacks up. This right here is one of our AI reactivation clients. You can see they've made us, in commission, paid to us $93,000. And that's from a couple of reactivation campaigns on their aged leads. So this really adds up when you find those good companies. Now you know how it works. Let me show you exactly how to build it. All we do is that we just click create agent, and for now we're going to use one of the templates that comes with BuildMyAgent. We're going to use the Google Calendar agent that has access to Gmail and Google Calendar. And I'm just going to click build agent, but we are actually not going to use those tools. I'm going to delete the Gmail and the Google Calendar agent. I wanted to use this template because we have a pretty good initial prompt like this. For now, I'm actually going to delete the company FAQ, and then I'm just going to write use your knowledge base for company information. And I'm going to click save changes. Then in the agent builder, I can write, please add a knowledge base file. Upload like this. And now it will add a knowledge base into our agent. There we go. Let me show you something really cool. We can then go inside of import website, and we can go to our client's website. Right now, I'm just setting it up for a previous client of mine. If I click import website and I import the website URL like this, I can then click add another URL, and you can see this takes this entire page. You can then go and handpick the pages that you want. I think an about us page would probably be a really good thing to add. Same with a reviews and rewards. There's probably some testimonials in there, which is good. I can go to the product page and I can take the panels that they have, so our agent get that information too. And they can see they also have batteries. So let's include that too. And solar inverters, we're just gonna add a lot of information that our agent then has access to. And then a page like this, how solar works, is probably also pretty good to add to the agent. So now we have all of those URLs. I can just click import. That's gonna import all of that information from those websites that we can then place inside of a PDF, like this one that we can then upload to the agent. Awesome. Now the agent can use RAG to look through all of those information and now has this information inside of its knowledge base. I'm going to click the main agent right here, and I'm going to choose a better model. Grok 4 Fast is actually a surprisingly good model, and it's a very, very cheap. So I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to click save changes. Now if we ask it, what panels do you have? It's going to look through its knowledge base, and it's going to find that information that we just took from their website and provide it to us. This is a really good response. You can also see how's the car looking. Right now, this prompt is made for car detailing, but we of course want to change it to what our client works with. To do that, I'm going to go inside of this side right here, and I'm going to write, please update my prompt from car detailing to solar. Now the agent builder will just update our prompt for us, so we don't need to do it ourselves. And it gives this overview of exactly what it changed. You can see car detailing now changed for solar company, and it also changed our question flow, which is nice. I then click apply. Awesome. We have a lot in this prompt right here, which is tool calling. So we still need to make some more changes. This question flow, how's the energy bill looking? Think about going green or just saving some cash. It's a decent question, but I want to improve it. Instead, I'm going to be, how much are you paying for electricity? Does it feel like bill has gone up lately? A quick tip to use, always ask a question initially that makes the client, the customer, mention some pain. For example, this question right here, when they say, yeah, I feel like my bill has gone up lately, they mention it themselves. And therefore, when you position solar, it makes it an easier sell. Then we have what mornings, afternoons usually best for a quick call. We don't need to ask for the name, email, and phone number because we're going to be using a calendar link. We don't need to find this availability here yet. So as question number 3, we're going to insert a calendar link. And all of this tool calling we just remove. I'm going to try and make it as easy as possible because this is really all you need to start. Now we need to insert the client's calendar link. What I recommend that you instruct your client in doing is creating a new calendar link that goes into the same calendar, but it's a different calendar so you can track exactly how many appointments came from you. So the way you would do that is that you would take one of their existing calendar events. If they're using another calendar booking software like cal.com, go high level, you can do the exact same thing. For now, I'm going to show it in Calendar, but it's the same process really in any appointment booking software. You create a new calendar like this one. So I duplicate that one. I'm going to call it 60-minute private call. And I'm going to keep all of the other settings exactly the same. So the availability, everything. I'm going to save those changes. Now I'm going to turn it on. But something that's important that you do is that you add an internal note. Booked by Shiny AI. So you write an internal note on this so people can see, okay, this is the calendar that you are booking appointments through. And all we need to do now is just copy this link and insert it into our prompt. You can find a morning/afternoon time in my calendar here. Let me know if you can find the time. There we go. This question flow is really strong because the first question is that we get them to mention some pain. Second question is a very soft sell on an appointment. It's would mornings, afternoons usually work best for a quick call. It's not do you want to book a call or do you not want to book a call. It's would mornings, afternoons usually work best. They don't really commit yet, but it's a really good transition into actually sending the link. And then it sends this right here. So I save those changes and then try and go through the question flow. So yeah, what's up? They might ask, not much, just chatting about ways to cut those power bills with solar. How much are you paying for electricity? Does it feel like the bill has gone up lately? Yeah, it almost doubled. That sucks. Bill doubling is no fun. Solar can really help slash those costs, especially with the rebates out there right now. What mornings, afternoons you should work best? Mornings. Got it, mornings it is. You can find a morning time in my calendar here. Let me know if you can find the time. And then it sends the calendar link. It will not display the link as clickable yet, but when you send this on an SMS, then it will always be clickable. So you can see if they go to this link right here, it takes them to the calendar. Awesome. So now our agent can book appointments via a calendar link. You saw that we deleted Google Calendar and Gmail in the start. You can make that work if you want to, but let me compare the two options. So on one side, you're using calendar link. The second side, you're booking appointments directly in the conversation. What will happen if you book them inside the conversation is that they will not be as qualified or as high intent. So what you can do is that you can use something like a calendar link, and then you can often charge a little more because it's higher intent leads. Those other leads will often not be as good, because sometimes you're going to get some people that just say, yeah, book me in, but they don't actually want an appointment. So when you're just starting out, I would definitely recommend that you use a calendar link. Awesome. I really like this flow. I like how it responds. I think this is a really good agent. So let's deploy it, shall we? What you usually want to do is that you want to show this to the client so they know exactly what's going on and what it is that you're actually doing. So the way you can do that is that you can head inside of the demo section. You can create a new demo. And then you can choose the SMS chat. We can call this SMS demo. And then we choose the agent that we just created, which is the top one. And we create a demo. There we go. I can then change the colors if I want. If I want light mode and dark mode. That doesn't really matter when it's on SMS. I think people get the point. But what's really good to do is that you can change this welcome message. This is an example of a text that you can send out, which is really good. Just remember to save it in the top right corner. You basically just want to show the client what it is that you're actually doing. And for that, the demo feature is really good. If I click view live, then they get a demo of exactly what it will look like. And then they can test it by saying, yeah, I was thinking about it. And then they can see exactly how the AI behaves. Hey, Albert, great to hear your thing about solar with that new QLD rebate. It's a solid time to look into it. Could save even more upfront. How much are you paying for electricity right now? Does it feel like the bill has gone up lately? Yeah. It has been going up a lot. This is the exact same flow as before, but now we can show it to the client on a call. And that way they know exactly what it is that you're doing. So this is just the demo. So after you have built it and after you have showed it to the client, now it's time to launch. And to do that, we head into the launch section. We click create. We call our sub account for Nectar Solar, our client name, and then we create the sub account. And now we can click in on it. This is going to open a closed environment where we can give the client access so they can follow the conversations with their leads. We can do this by heading into team and then by clicking invite member and then click send invite. And now you can see it's pending because then the client can go in and accept this invite, and now they have access to the sub account. Again, we can even go into settings and we can change the appearance of the sub account. So I can make the colors orange, for example. Click save sub account theme, and now you can see we have dark mode and an orange color. I can even go in, I can copy the image address, and then I can insert it in the logo URL field right here. Click save changes, and now you can see the logo is in the top left corner right here. But let's actually launch the campaign. The way we do that is that we click add agent, and then we call it SMS agent and click continue. We can then choose where we want to deploy it. We want to choose SMS because we want our AI agent to reactivate all of the leads on SMS, and we click continue. And then we select an AI build. So we select the top one. This was the one that we just created. And I click create agent. There we go. Now in the left-hand side, you can see that an SMS agent has been added. And in the top right corner, we can switch between the conversations. You can see there's of course no conversations yet. So we want to start a campaign. The way we do that is that we head into campaigns right here, and then I click new campaign. This is usually where you would have to set up some very advanced flows. But for now, we've done all of the hard work for you. So we can literally just select the agent that we want to be using, and then we select the campaign title. This could be old lead reactivation inside of the active volume in active hours. We're going to set it to 400 contacts. I'm going to start the sending from 9 to 5. And I'm going to set the time zone to Sydney time zone because that's where my client is located in. Let's save the settings. Then I'm going to add an initial message. Then I'm going to take the exact same message that we used for the initial sending. I'm going to paste that in, and then I'm going to say hi and then insert the first name because I want to insert a custom field here with the first name. So I'm going to have my cursor where I want to insert the custom field, and then I click that. So now we have hey first name as a custom field. Wanted to call you but didn't want to disturb you without texting first. That, by the way, is a really good message text to have. We recently got a new rebate increase link for an additional $500 off. So looking to cut your bills with solar. That I think is a good message. And then you also want to include opt-out language. So right under here I'm gonna write, if you don't want to receive my texts, respond with end. Like that. We recently got a new rebate increase in for an additional $500 off. I'm still looking to cut your bills with solar. That's a really good initial message. Then we can add a follow-up message on top of that. And that's just going to be, hey, first name, did you receive my text? And we're going to add another follow-up. We want to add something around 2 follow-up messages. You want to keep in mind that it's charging on SMS cost every time you send out a message. So I found 2 to be the most cost effective. Another really good follow-up messages you can write is, my phone is bugging me. Not sure if my messages going through. Something like that. Remember to set the delay minutes as well. For now, it's set to 1 day or 1400 minutes, which is good. So it's going to send out an initial message and then it's going to send 2 follow-up messages the next day and the next day again. I like that, so I'm just going to click Save Settings. For a realistic delay, this is basically how long we want the AI to take before it starts its response. This is really good. If you make it instant, then it's not going to look realistic as a person writing. So I'm going to set this to 30 seconds and click Save Settings. And then for the phone number settings, you're going to need to create a Twilio account and get this Twilio account SID, Twilio auth token, and a Twilio phone number. I'm going to show you how to set that up now. You go to twilio.com and you click right top corner right here, start for free. If you already have an account, you can just click login. But I'll show you exactly how to create a new account as well and how to get set up. So I just fill in this information, then I verify my email, and then you verify your phone number, and then you just fill out this information. Awesome. Now we are on the dashboard. I already have $15 in credits. Every new account gets this, but we still need to upgrade to make sure that our account works properly. And the way we do that is that we go through this verification process right here. So you click upgrade and it takes you to this page. And here you need to verify your profile. And the reason they ask for this is because they don't want people to just spam out SMS. So they actually take a passport or a driver's license to make sure to verify that it's actually you signing up to prevent against spam and fraud. So just go through this process. After you have sent your ID, it can take a bit to get verified. I think it says like 2 to 3 days. But in reality, it rarely takes that long. It might take a few hours, but for me, it took minutes right here. And then you'll come to this page right here. And it's important that when you fill out this business information right here, that you use the client's information. And for the point of contact, it's also important that you use the authenticated person inside of that company that you have gotten from your onboarding survey, the information that was in that docs previously. After you have added $20 and verified your entire profile, this includes going through with your passport to verify your identity, and then signing up with the business information of your client, then you will be at this page right here. And this means that we have now upgraded our account. So if I refresh this upgrade right here should disappear. Exactly. You can see now it doesn't say the upgrade. So I just go back. And now we can sign up for our A2P registration. And you want to do this with the business information of your client because you are sending SMS on behalf of them. So all I do is that I go to phone numbers, I go to active numbers right here, and I choose just this number right here that we have been given from our trial account. And then you can see here, A2P registration is required for US messaging. So I click this right here that says initiate A2P registration. just like that. You can set it says it's the incomplete registration, so we need to sign up. And the way we do that is that we go inside of brands right here, and here we need to register a brand. And we will use the business information that we filled in before, which was from the client that we have gotten. Is the business entity you're registering located in the US or Canada? It is, but we can go through this data right here. So I just write yes. Does the business you're registering have a tax ID? It does. And I click continue like this. Then I click on review and submit, and I can see that all of the data that I've inserted from my client and the authorized representative, I'll update this. The authorized representative needs to be the person that has allowed you to do this in the company, so I'll fill in this information right quick. It's fine that the notification settings are still going to you. And then I click the confirm button right here, and I click save and continue. It will charge $4 to verify the brand. It's a private company. We'll take the low volume standard brand, and we'll allow sharing for current sub accounts if in the future we want multiple sub accounts. And then I click this agree right here, and I click register. Nice. Now it is verifying the brand, and I'll be back after that is done. Awesome. Now our brand is registered. All I do is that I just click continue here, and I click continue again. And for this information, for the campaign, we choose the low volume mixed right here. We create a new messaging service. And for this information right here, I actually made a docs for you. Just like the other docs, I'll link this at the bottom of this video. And here you actually have a template of what is good to insert when you send it in. For the campaign description, I write the company name. And I also insert their privacy policy. I click create, and I click confirm. And now it says your A2P campaign has been submitted and is now under review. This can take anywhere from 1 to 5 days. It varies a bit. Twilio can be a bit of a pain, but it's just something you gotta learn, and then it's not that bad after all. What we usually do is that we get all the information we need from our clients that we need for the registrations. Then we send that in, and while that's being approved, that's when we build the agent. That way we can optimize our time. When you bought a local phone number, you copy this, and then you go back into BuildMyAgent and make sure that you format it correctly, exactly like this. Then you go to your account dashboard to get your account SID and your auth token, like that. And then we click Save Settings and Create Campaign. Cool. And then we're gonna add the CSV file by importing our lead list that we got from our client. We're gonna map name to name, phone to phone, first name to first name, and I'm gonna upload the contacts. There we go. Click done. And now we have a campaign with 16 contacts in it. And all we have to do now is just click Start Campaign. And now our SMS will go out to all of these leads. And after they respond, our AI agent will pick up on those conversations. So I click Start Campaign, and now it will start running. When it starts to send out the SMS, we'll be able to see it inside of our Conversations tab. You can see there's no messages yet, but as soon as it starts sending out, you will see the messages show up here. And that's how you do it. That's how you create an agent inside of BuildMyAgent, and how you start an SMS campaign that starts sending out SMS to all of the leads in a database. If you have any questions about this, then make sure to leave a comment below, or leave it inside of our school groups and we can help you out. You can join that in the description. This AI system has made us so much money. It's what allowed us to travel. So don't miss out on this opportunity. You got this. I'm rooting for you. There is a crazy new agent that you can create that almost no one is talking about, because that agent allows businesses to create crazy offers that they can use on their social media profiles or in their ads. Imagine a fitness coach that can provide custom fitness plans to all their followers on their Instagram. And what this agent can do is that it can ask good questions to a lead, capture a bunch of information, and then create a custom fitness plan that it can then send to their email in a Google Docs. The great thing about this is a very natural way of asking for someone's email. So by doing this, the business as the fitness coach is gathering emails that they can now start selling to. Let me show you exactly how this works. If a user writes, I want a fitness plan, this could be a custom keyword inside of Instagram, for example, that they could write. It asks these questions. What's your main fitness goal? Weight loss, beginner, 3 times a week, and I have access to a gym. Now it asks for the email address and a name where it can send the fitness plan. There we go. You can see it created a document, it updated a Google Sheet, and it sent an email. So let's see what it actually did. Inside our Google Sheet, you can now see we have information right here, the email, and a bit of information about them. And we have also sent a four-week weight loss fitness plan that has a link right here, and a Google Sheet where when we open it, we have a custom plan for Albert Olgard with exactly what they need to do in order to lose weight with their exact preferences. 3 sessions a week, beginner, and you can see increase intensity, a very detailed fitness plan right here. Imagine a fitness coach that can run an offer and that can say in their videos that if you want a completely free plan, just DM me and I'll send it to you. That's the power of what this agent can do, because then you can connect this to Instagram, you can connect it to whatever you want, where everyone now gets free fitness plans. Awesome. So that is what we'll be creating in this video. And this is an agent, depending on how big the client is, that you could sell for anywhere between 300 and $1,000 a month. Inside of BuildMyAgent.io, we click Create Agent, and then we write Create an agent with access to Google Docs, Gmail, and Google Sheets. It'll now create our agent and it'll add the right tools. Awesome. Now we have an agent with access to Gmail, Google Docs, and Google Sheets. The first thing I'll do is that I'll head into the agent settings right here, and I'll change the model to Grok for Fast. This is an extremely cheap model that doesn't use that many credits, and it's also quite good. You see inside the prompt we have access to all of these things. If I scroll down to advanced settings, I'll set the temperature to something like 0.3. We don't want 2 random responses here. We want it to be pretty consistent. The next thing we want to do is connect our tools. I'll connect Gmail, and then I will connect Google Docs. And the last thing we're connecting is Google Sheets. Now we want to instruct our agent in exactly what we want it to do. So I'm going to write, please update my prompt so that it does this. First, it should ask 3 questions to the user about their fitness goals, level, and access to equipment. Next, it should ask for their name and email, include text here that we will use this for future updates as well. So they agree to this by providing their email. Then it should create a custom fitness plan for them in Google Docs. It should send this over Gmail, and at the end, without telling the user, it should also add lead information in a Google Sheet. I hit enter, and let's update our prompt. Added a lot of information here about what it actually needs to have access to. So let's apply this. And now our prompt has been updated with the new information. So let's test it, shall we? We might need to refine this a bit, but let's see what it says. Hi, want to lose weight, beginner, I have access to a full gym. By sharing your email, you're agreeing to receive fitness rate updates from me. Once I have that, I'll create and email your custom 4-week beginner weight loss plan right away. Hit enter. Let's see if it knows how to utilize the tools correctly, because that is usually the hardest part. That is to get the AI to understand how it actually uses the tools. There we go. It created a document and it sent it over email. Let's see if it did that correctly first. So this all looked correctly, and they can click open your plan here, or they can click this docs document, and here we have the exact fitness plan. So that looks pretty good, but we can see that it failed with the Google Sheets. It says right here, sheet leads not found. The Google Sheets are class data. The caller does not have permission. All right, it probably doesn't know which sheet that it should update it in. So what we're going to do is that I'm going to create a new Google Sheet that I am going to call fitness plan leads. Then I am going to call this leads, like this. Because what I can do now is that I can copy this URL. This has this ID right here, so we can help it. We can give it to that and help it find it. Please instruct the agent in using this sheet ID, where row 1 is name, row 2 is email, and row 3 is a short description of the lead and their fitness level. Update the sheet that is called leads. Now we have given it all the information that it needs, It knows that it should update the sheet that's called leads. It knows what sheet ID that it should use. If you scroll down, you can see it has added more information. It has removed what it usually said about the document. It has now added more information about the ID, the sheet name, leads. Now it should work. So I'm gonna click apply here. Now we've updated our prompt and let's try it again, shall we? So I'll write hi and see what it says. All right, created the document, sent the email, and created a spreadsheet row. So if we go inside of the fitness plan leads, only created the row. It didn't actually add the values. So we just need to get it to update the row correctly. I can probably just get it to copy this response data right here and just say, right now it didn't actually add the information. It just inserted an empty row. Please update accordingly. So now we give it the entire context of what it's actually sending in the API response to our agent, and that will give it some context for what it should update inside of our prompt. Let's see if this works. Try to add the row in sheets again. There we go. Now you can see it has added the name, email, and description. So what we need to do now, because this might not work every time, is that we try it from the top again. Let's see if it knows how to utilize all the tools now. It's very good to give the entire context of the logs to the agent builder, because then it'll know exactly what's going wrong, what's being passed wrong in the request. All right, so we have 3 greens. Created the document, send an email. Let's first check if it's in the right email. Right there, your personalized weight loss fitness plan, beginner with gym access. Let's see if it also added the leads. But it added it at the top. I think it's because we might be using a wrong tool. I think the batch update is usually better. So I'm going to instruct my agent now in using this instead. So batch update spreadsheet. I'm going to pass it this tool ID right here. And I'm going to tell it it's still messing up the spreadsheet add. Can you please instruct it in using this tool instead? In general, I always use this tool instead because I think it's more consistent. So now we've basically just changed what tool it should use with new information. Let's see if it can edit correctly now. Failed the first batch update, invalid cell location, but then it did it correctly in the other one. Does it edit correctly? You can see the error says that it wants to add an A1 or omit for appending rows. Instruct it in always omitting right here, so it just ends rows. Thank you. Now we are just optimizing this. If I deployed it would work fine, but we want it to be as fast and good as possible without doing any failed tool calls. Let's see if that works. All right. No errors now, and it was added to the bottom, which is what we want. Now it works. One thing I did see though, which I want to improve, is the way that it does markdown inside of these. You can see this docs right here can look much better. So I'm going to instruct the agent this. I'm going to instruct it in that works. Next up, I want the agent to create nice looking markdown when it creates a Google Docs with headlines and sub-headlines. That's just gonna make it a little better, which is what I want. Google Docs, document markdown. It's because it was using the wrong tool. Cool. It is a lot in like what tools it's using, because this tool allows it to actually use markdown. Also by that, then we're gonna try it again. There we go. Now it used the tools Google Doc markdown. See if we like this markdown better. Yes, I think this looks way better with bold text, sub-headlines. This just looks way more professional. That is awesome. What I did see though is that it still did this right there. It still doesn't omit for appending rows. Always does it in the second try though. But it still does this the first time, and then afterwards it successfully does this. Fix that. Thank you very much. So I think we just need, the AI needs to make it even more clear that it should always omit that thing that it's setting. Let's see what our AI prompt says right here. Now it's set in stone. Now it should be able to fix it. It still does it wrong. When it gets stuck in a loop, sometimes it helps going back and then going in again, because then this agent builder resets, and we can do like this. Update the prompt so this doesn't happen. I want it to just append the row always. Now the agent's memory is reset, so now it might try to take a different approach. Cool. Let's try it once again. What I'll do is that I'll just try and delete all of this. Maybe this is too much information for it, that makes it do something that it's not supposed to. So save the changes and let's try again, shall we? It still gets that error. I'm going to say that this is fine for now. It still works. It's just going to take a little longer, but I guess that's fine. Now we have a working agent that can create a Google Docs, send it on Gmail, and add the lead information inside of this sheet right here. This is basically just farming leads on autopilot, because the fitness coach could set this up on their Instagram, and now he's getting a lot of emails that he can use for email campaigns, add to his newsletter that he can end up converting. You could also, if you wanted to do additional information, you could also ask for the phone number in the conversation and then also add that to the sheet. To deploy it, all we would do is click deploy agent right here, and then if we don't have it already, we can create a new sub account. I can call this one for fitness coach, and then we can choose where we want it. Another interesting use case is actually as a website widget. You can place this as a website, and then people that sign up and provide their information, they get a free fitness program. Could also do it over SMS, for example, if they have a list and say, hey man, interested in a free program. But I think that either Messenger, coaches that are active on Facebook, or Instagram is going to be the best use case for this. So we're going to choose Instagram, going to call this agent for Instagram agent, and now we can deploy it. There we go. We can now go to the agent, which is going to open this sub account right here. And now you can see we have our Instagram agent right here. And all we need to do now is just hook it up to ManyChat so it has access to our Instagram. The way we do that, and I'm not going to show that in this video, but is that you can click this show setup guide right here. And this guide basically shows you how to set up ManyChat, where you also get a free month of ManyChat. That is how you create an agent that has access to Gmail, Google Docs, and Google Sheets. What I will do is that I will also clone this as a template to save you a bunch of time. I can clone this as a template. This is an admin, so I'm just going to call this fitness plan agent, an agent that can create fitness plans, send them on email, and collect lead information in a Google Sheet. I'm going to save this template just like that, because now when you go to create a new agent, this is something that I only have access to. I can add my own agents as templates for you guys. Is that in the template section, you will now see the fitness plan agent right here. So you can just use this, then you don't have to go through all the pain that I went through in this video of setting up the template. You can just click on here, click build agent, and now you have access to that agent as well. You're welcome for that, guys. One thing that you need to remember to do though, is because we set the sheet ID inside of here, you need to go in and change the sheet ID, or just tell it in the chat to change the sheet ID so it actually creates it in the right Google Sheet. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found it valuable. If you have any questions, then make a post inside of school or leave it in the comments below.